Text.
Hey, Rena. Is the Sunday of the week after next okay for the get-together with your parents?
Hey Ken, thanks for working so hard lately. You're the best. Yeah, I think the week after next should be good. Mom and Dad should be at home then, so I don't see why not.
Okay, great. Let's go for a week on Sunday then.
Sounds good. Thanks for coming up with a day. I don't know about you, but I'm kinda nervous. I can't believe it's your first time meeting my parents, despite the fact that we're getting married. That's heavy.
No kidding. It's just been one thing after the other with work, and we never really got a chance, huh? This might just be the most nervous I've ever been in my life. Do you think I should wear a suit?
No way, silly. Just wear your normal clothes. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I was wondering if I should invite Mel to be there for the introduction too.
I guess I don't really mind. Mel knows I proposed to you, right? I wouldn't want to bother her on her day off work though, so only invite her if it's not a problem.
Yeah, about that. Mel hasn't been herself lately. She seems a little down. I was thinking it might do her some good to spend some time with everyone. It's been so long, I think it might be just what she needs.
Oh? I didn't know about that. I see. Wonder if something happened.
I've asked her a few times, but she keeps saying she's fine. Ever since we were kids, she's always been the type to hide how she's really feeling. Honestly, she never tells me anything. I don't know whether it's because we're twins, but even if she doesn't say a thing, I can tell when something's bothering her.
I see. I guess that is a little worrying. Hopefully being reunited with everyone will give her a break from her worries. Could be just what she needs.
Listen, on the off chance that she says anything to you about how she's feeling, would you do me a favor and hear her out? I want her to have someone she can talk to.
Huh? Me? Would she really unload her words onto me of all people?
She likes you, you know. She even praised you before. She said you always seem so relaxed and laid back. And that she feels like you're the sort of person she could rely on you if she needed to.
What? But I'm not like that at all. Okay, deal. If she says anything to me, I'll hear her out.
Thanks a bunch, honey. I'm counting on you. I'll tell my parents about the plan. Knowing them, they'll probably prepare an unnecessary large buffet.
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I can always eat.
Good evening, Ken. Oh, it's been a while.
Hi, Mel. No kidding. How you been? It's not like you to message me. Did something happen?
I heard you and Rena are getting married, so naturally, I wanted to congratulate you. Congratulations. Take good care of my big sister, okay? And don't forget to give me some attention every now and then, too.
Thanks. I'm gonna be going to your parents' place soon so I can meet them before the wedding. Did Rena tell you?
Yep, she told me. The thing is, I really want to go, but I have plans on that day, and I can't make it.
Oh, I see. That's a shame. But let's go out for a meal somewhere some other time to make up for it. Just the three of us, okay?
Sounds good.
You're gonna be family when I marry your big sis after all. And that means you're gonna be stuck with me. I hope you're prepared. I want you to know that if you ever need anyone to talk to, I'm here. Whether I'll be of any use is a different matter altogether.
Ken, thank you. Listen, the thing is, I actually messaged you today because there was something I wanted to talk about.
Oh, you did? What is it?
Well, you see, I'm pregnant.
Wow, congratulations! I didn't know you had a boyfriend. Wait a sec. No way. Is he refusing to acknowledge it as his?
No, the baby is yours.
What? The baby is mine?
Yes, I'm pregnant with your child, Ken.
No. Wait a sec. Me and you aren't even together, Mel.
I know that.
But in that case, you must know it's not possible for you to be pregnant with my kid.
That's where you're wrong. You don't know this, but I went on a date with you in my sister's place one time.
Wait, what? No way. No way! There's just no way. It's 100% impossible. No, 200% impossible.
The truth is, Ken, it was love at first sight. As soon as I saw you, I knew you were the one. I knew that we were meant to be together. On that day, Rena had a cold and she was feeling pretty under the weather. I could hear how ill she was on the phone, so I bought some vitamin drinks and headed over to her apartment. While I was there, she told me about how she was supposed to go on a date with you that evening. Then, after she fell asleep, something just came over me. I put on some of her clothes and headed out to meet you for the date, pretending to be her.
Wow. Oh my god.
There was a day where she canceled on you last minute, but then texted a little later saying it turned out she could go after all, right? Remember?
Well, yeah, I remember, but she said that was because you caught a cold and she was gonna stay home and look after you while you recovered.
That was because I took her phone when she wasn't looking and sent a phony message. Speaking honestly, I was almost certain you'd know it was me, but I liked you so much I thought, what the hell, let's do it. What surprised me the most was that you didn't even seem suspicious.
Come on, Mel, are you serious? None of this makes sense. The entire chat history is still there. Surely Rena would have seen it when she woke up and realized what was going on.
Yes, which is why when the date was over, I apologized to her immediately. I think that's why she fell for it so completely. Of course, I didn't tell her about us sleeping together. I just played me going on the date instead of her as some kind of prank. Like a wanting to see how long I could trick you for kind of thing. Fun and games, you know?
I see.
The thing is, I've wanted kids for a long time, and that hasn't changed. But I'm not sure I can raise a child all on my own. To tell you the truth, I'm scared, Ken. Which is why I'm not going to ask you to acknowledge the baby. But I am going to need compensation in the form of child support payments, at least for a little while.
Compensation? What the hell?
I did think about raising it completely on my own, and honestly, I'd rather do it that way, but it's unrealistic. I'd be at work all the time, and I want to be there for the baby at least for the first year. I'm not going to ask you to pay child support for 20 years or anything. That would just be crazy. But at the very least, instead of that, and please understand I never wanted to ask you this, but could I ask you for a one-time payment of $40,000?
Holy freaking Jesus balls.
I'm sure I remember you and Rena talking about how you were saving up money in some kind of marriage fund, right? On top of that, you invest in stocks and shares, right? And didn't you say you dabble in crypto too? Surely you can put together a measly $40,000 for our baby.
Like hell I can!
What? Why not? Look, I know it could be argued that it was wrong of me to deceive you like that, but this is your own child we're talking about here. If you won't pay, I'll tell Rena and my parents that you got me pregnant. Do you really want that to happen? Rena would be heartbroken. She'd never recover.
Of course I don't want that to happen. It's just that I honestly have no recollection of sleeping with you.
I told you! I dressed up in Rena's clothes and pretended to be her when she canceled your date. You can either pay me $40,000 and this all disappears, or we can go public with everything and you marry me. Which will it be? I'm not unreasonable. If you marry me and take responsibility for your child, then we can forget about the money. It will, of course, involve you breaking up with Rena, though.
Look, Mel, I'm sorry, but none of this is making any sense to me. Can you give me some time to think things over?
Fine. But make up your mind quickly. We don't have forever here. Every second you spend hesitating over what to do is a second our baby keeps growing. Ken! Have you made a decision yet? What's taking so long? It's been an entire week since you said you needed more time.
Look, Mel, there's just no way I can go along with this.
Are you still intent on playing dumb? It's time to stop being stubborn and face reality.
You and Brenna are identical twin, which means the average guy on the street might confuse you for each other at a glance. But I know you both, and I can tell the difference. Your mannerisms, your personalities, the way you speak, the vibe is just different. All the makeup, hairstyling, or clothes in the world wouldn't make me mistake you for my own fiancé. I could drink 10 beers and still be able to tell you apart. And we didn't even drink that night.
Ken, you're lying, aren't you? Even our parents get us mixed up sometimes. Do you really think you know us better than them? That's ridiculous, and you know it. Face reality already.
Okay, so where's the proof it's my kid? If it's a DNA test you need, I'll be right there with you. Give me the cup and I'll shoot.
Wow, are you serious? Are you saying you don't believe me? I'm your fiancé's sister. We'll be family soon. How could you be so horrible? Ugh, I've had it with you. If that's your attitude, you leave me no choice. I'm telling Rena and my parents. You made me do this. This means war. I'll crush your wedding dream into little pieces.
Give it your best shot, because there's no way what you're saying is true. I've examined it from 1,000 different angles, and there's no scenario where what you're saying happened.
I'm finally seeing your true colors. To think you tried to escape responsibility for your own kid.
What you're saying is literally impossible, because I can't have kids.
Huh?
I'm impotent. Shooting blanks. My boys can't swim.
Huh? Wait, what? What? Why didn't you tell me that from the start? Are you serious? This has been nothing but a huge waste of time.
I see. Yep, I knew it. You were lying. The reason I went quiet for so long was because I was racking my brains to try to find any kind of reason you'd lie about something like this.
Wow. That's funny.
Excuse me? Which part is funny?
The idea of my sister marrying a good-for-nothing infantile loser like you. You're damaged goods. Do you have any idea how much my sister loves kids? You're doomed from the start. There's no way your marriage is going to last. You may as well not even bother and save yourself the hurt.
Rena said yes when I proposed, knowing full well about my condition, which is why we planned on living happily together even if it meant we could never have kids.
Well, that may be so. But what about our parents? Do you have any idea how many times they've told me how excited they are to meet their grandkids? You've got another thing coming if they think they'll allow this. I've got it. I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. If you pay me a generous fee and hush money, I'll agree not to tell my parents about your unfortunate condition. Believe me, you're done for if they find out. Think about it. Everyone wins. You'd be a fool to say no.
Everyone wins? How so? Because all this sounds like to me is that you're so desperate for money you'll stop at nothing to get your grubby hands on it. Even if it means destroying your family's lives.
Whatever. You can think that if it makes you feel better. I guess it's not exactly wrong. I'm really a sucker for a fat wad of cash. But looking at it from your perspective, you want my mom and dad to like you, right? You must be really nervous about meeting them. You do want to be accepted, don't you?
Well, yeah, but that's exactly why I don't want to lie to them. Funnily enough, I just arrived at your parents' place with Rena.
Huh? But the wedding introduction wasn't supposed to be for another week.
True, but then you decided to pull this lunatic stunt of yours and the plan changed. I thought it'd be better if they heard it straight from the horse's mouth rather than you telling them in a malicious attempt to destroy their image of me. I decided it was best to start from a point of honesty and tell them the truth straight away.
Wait, if you're at my parents' place, does that mean you told my family about me?
It's not exactly that I told them. It's more that they're looking at my phone right now watching this conversation play out in real time.
What? They're doing... What? Oh my god! What have you done? Are you trying to destroy your fiancé's sister's reputation? What's wrong with you?
The only one who destroyed your reputation is you, young lady. You're the shame of this family. You disgust me.
Huh?
Oh, that wasn't me. It was your dad. So yeah, that's basically where we are right now.
I'm so sorry. Dad, please. I made a mistake, please. It was all just one big prank. A joke. I didn't mean it. Please, believe me.
How about you come over and explain yourself to everyone in person? To quote your dad, "Get your ass over here now!" I think it's about time you took responsibility for what you've done.
If you'd have just kept your mouth shut and paid me the money, my plan would have worked.
Excuse me? Do you have zero self-awareness? In any case, you seriously need to get your head checked out. This isn't normal behavior. The one who hurt your sister is you, Mel. No, wrong. You hurt your entire family. It turns out the reason Mel was so desperate for money was because she'd become a regular at a local strip club and fallen in love with one of the gigolos, who periodically requested large sums of money from her, and she subsequently ended up in mountains of debt. To make matters worse, I was gobsmacked when I found this out, but apparently this is the second time. The first time, her mom and dad saved her butt and paid off her $80,000 of debt. but they made it absolutely clear that they never be doing it again, and warned her vehemently against going down the same path. Sadly, even after being granted a second chance at life, she didn't learn from her mistakes, and this time was even stupid enough to borrow from a black market loan shark. Rena and her parents were furious at her for trying to extort money out of me, and they came down on her like a ton of bricks. I don't think I've ever seen a human being look so terrified. In the end, they cut her out of their lives completely. Apparently, her parents had sold their car, canceled their insurance policy, and begged various relatives to come up with the money to pay off the debts the first time around. Rena even donated the entirety of her savings account to get her wayward twin sister out of this catastrophic mess she's gotten herself into. It's hardly surprising that none of them had the patience to put up with her shenanigans a second time around. 6 months later, Mel showed up at her parents' house looking so worn out and beaten down by life that I can only describe her appearance as homeless. Of course, she lied about my role in everything, but it turns out she genuinely had been pregnant, and she came to beg for money to help with bringing up the baby. The baby daddy was none other than the male stripper she had fallen in love with. Needless to say, her dad sent her on her way before she even had time to say hello. By the way, the in-laws both apologized to me profusely for everything their daughter had put me through. They also had no issue with me not being able to have kids. In their words, as long as you two are happy together, you have our complete, unwavering support. With that, it was full steam ahead for the wedding. Up until then, I'd never felt any kind of positive emotion towards my condition. But in this case, it was precisely because I was infertile that Mel's efforts to deceive me ended in failure. Thanks to my boy's inability to swim, me and my family were able to cut an unbelievably toxic individual out of our lives forever. She might have called me damaged goods, but now, me and Rena are living out our married lives in tranquil peace and harmony, and I've never been happier. I intend to continue being a good, honest husband from here on out, and live out my life in happiness with the woman I love.
Keith? Let's start with you giving me a detailed explanation for all that's happened so far.
Asking me for an explanation, huh?
Today is supposed to be the day that my little sister has her wedding with someone, but why on the day of her wedding were you showing up to it wearing the groom's tuxedo? When I saw you walking in on my sister's wedding day as the groom, I was more shocked than actually angered with you. Even now, I'm having a hard time showing any other emotions besides shock because of how outlandish you've been.
Well, as you've pretty much seen everything for what it is, I shouldn't have to give you an explanation for what's going on here.
No, I deserve an explanation for all of that because I currently cannot believe my eyes.
Oh, for crying out loud, I guess there's no way I'm getting out of this without giving you a rundown, so I'll give you that explanation. I'm going to get married to your little sister, Joy, okay? I'm sorry for keeping all that a secret from you. Now, can we get to the part where you divorce me?
Huh? Since when have you been going after my sister, and when did she start to think it was okay to marry my husband?
Well, about half a year ago, I started to talk with her about my feelings towards her. She was working at the bar that I loved to go to a lot back then, and when she came up to me to get my order, she asked me if I was her sister's husband or not. That, I guess, is what you would actually consider the start to all this. And, well, from that point on, I tried my hardest to resist her looks, but man, did the image of me being her in my mind look amazing. And bam! She had a hold of me, and there was no other way for me to free myself anymore.
So you really were taken away by her looks?
Huh?
I know that I've already let you in on this whole story before, but let me explain to you one more time. The reason for why I left my family behind 5 years ago.
What? Why would I need to hear about that again?
My sister, Joy, she, for some reason, takes a liking in stealing anything I lay my hands on, whether that be things or people. And as for my parents, they're the kind of people that look past her doing that sort of stuff to me and love her with all their heart. So to escape such a hellish environment as that, I ran away from my home, leaving everyone in my family behind to start a new life where I didn't have to worry about Joy. Don't you remember when I told you the reason why I couldn't introduce you to my family before we were married was because of that reason? I guess you don't, because in the end, even you, Keith, even you became another part of my sister's hobby and have been stolen away from me.
Oh, come on now. I'm sure that you might just think that your sister is stealing me away from you without any actual emotion to it, but she really does love me, and I love her even more back. And you, of all people, being her sister, should be glad that she's finally found someone like me that makes her so happy. You being not happy to see that just shows how horrible of a person that you really are inside.
And the same could be said of someone that tries to have a wedding with his wife's little sister even before getting a divorce.
Excuse me?
To be honest, I never even wanted to be at my sister's wedding today. Well, either way, I'm going to head home now after this.
Hey! Things have only just begun, and I want you around to see it.
Do you actually think I want to stick around to see the end?
Huh?
You went out and told everyone that you divorced me, and that's how you got all your friends to make it to the wedding today. But those friends of yours that you went out talking to happened to be my friends as well, and figured out right away that something was wrong when the invitation said you'd be marrying my little sister. This isn't going to end well for you, Keith.
Huh? The friends that we both get along with know about this? I don't remember telling any of my friends who are your friends as well about this.
You did, but I won't tell you who. But those friends of ours saw that you sent invitations that you planned to marry my little sister. They were shocked to see that, but were even more shocked that you were doing all of this to me after everyone thought we had such a good relationship. Either way, people know just how messed up all of this is, and the word will start to spread, and everyone will begin to leave.
What?
You can choose to continue with the wedding if you'd like, but don't expect there to be many people remaining after learning about the crap you're trying to pull. Be ready to have the whole world pointing fingers at you for what you've done and calling you a freak and an idiot.
What? That's... Your sister and I were supposed to have a beautiful wedding today and be celebrated by everyone we invited.
Well, with that, in a few days, let's start talks about the settlement I plan to ask from you.
You're planning to ask for money from me now?
And don't plan on coming home today, okay? I don't want to see your face right now, and I don't want to be sleeping in the same house as you anymore.
Wait, Heidi.
I'll be going now. What the heck, Heidi? Hurry up and get everyone to come back to our wedding. Huh? Why are you asking me, of all people, to do that? If you want them all back there watching your messed up wedding, then you go get them yourself. But you're the one that did all of this, so you have to get them back here or else they won't listen to me. Just because your husband left you for me because I'm better in every way doesn't mean you can just start talking bad about us and getting everyone to leave the wedding we planned out. What the heck are you thinking? I didn't do anything to make those people start leaving. Those people were all told by a friend of mine, and they chose themselves to believe your wedding is messed up and leave. And I was out of there before everyone else started to leave, so how's that my fault? I'm not responsible for their actions, nor am I going to be responsible for getting them to turn around and go back to you. So go out and get them yourself. Come back here right now! Heidi! It's been destroyed. You may have ruined my whole wedding with what you did, but I'm still going to be married to Keith, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now just divorce him already so that I can have him. I am going to hand in our marriage papers soon, and then make sure that his parents understand that I'll be his new wife. Do you even know where his parents live? What the heck are you talking about? You are living with them right now, right? Huh? Those 60-year-old people that you're living with are his parents, right? I really want to come over there and introduce myself to them, but you're always sitting in their house with them and it's driving me nuts. Can you please hurry up and get lost already? Wait. Could you be mistaking my foster parents for his parents right now? Huh? Foster parents? After I left you guys in that house, I had gone out saying that I was a foster child who had no parents. And that's when I was able to find my foster parents who took me in even though I was already in my late teens. Did you not hear about any of this from Dad? Just wait a second. That means that the gorgeous house that Keith and you have been living in is... This is the house of my foster dad. Then what about Keith's parents? To be honest, I've never met either one of them either. He told me that right after he got into college, his parents went through a tough divorce and then moved off to different places without him. And ever since then, he's been without parents, and that all happened a while back, and he's never even heard from them since. Neither of us even know where they went, to tell you the truth. Huh? So I've never met either of his parents, and he was at least able to meet my foster parents before we had our wedding. Are you kidding me? So you never even talked with Keith about who the older couple is that we've been living with? Because if you asked him whether they were his parents or not, you would have gotten your answer a whole lot sooner. He just told me that I wouldn't be able to see them at the wedding. Well, him being vague with you about it and there being no explanation isn't my problem, but I will say this. Your reason for wanting to marry Keith hasn't been for him, but rather this amazingly beautiful house that I live in right now, right? Well, you getting to live in that house all by yourself with that older couple isn't fair. So that's why I looked for your husband, and when I found the bar he went to often, I applied for a job there and was able to make my move. I planned to marry him so that I could get that house and live there as well. And what about the name on that house? I made sure to double-check the last name on that house and everything. And I can confirm that the last name on that house is the same as Keith's. And that's because Keith took my new last name in the marriage. Huh? When I was adopted by my foster parents after running away from Mom and Dad, they helped me change my last name since I'm legally their child now. And so that would mean that both Keith and I share the same last name as the owners of this house. That's why the name on the house is the same as his last name, right? What the heck? How am I supposed to let you get away with some stupid reason like that? Why didn't you ever tell me you changed your last name sooner? I assumed you would have heard from Mom and Dad about how I found new parents and they adopted me. But to be fair, you never even listened to what I say anyway, and on top of that, after I ran away, you started to tell everyone you kicked me out of the house and that I was mentally ill. That was you spreading that rumor, right? Why would I care about you knowing about my situation after running away when you go and do things like that? Ah, that's right. How about you change your story about getting adopted and make it seem like I was adopted by them instead? If you let me become their child, then I'll let you have Keith back. What? All right, that's a pretty good idea, right? No, that right there is anything but a good idea. Why is it not good? I'm giving you back the man you love so much, right? In your case, you should be begging me to give him back to you. This is your chance. You think I'm still going to love the man that cheated on me with my little sister? Huh? That bastard told me why he went after you a little while ago and explained how much he loves you over me. As well as told me that you've been together for 6 months now. He told you that already? The fact that you're getting surprised by that is surprising. Then, what can I do for you that'll get you to let me be their kid? No matter what you do, you're not going to become their child. But that's not frickin' fair. You always get to have things your way, Heidi. Then, Joy, if you really want to become their new child, do you think you can speak 5 different languages within the next 2 years fluently like me? Huh? You have to be pretty globally sophisticated to be their child, as well as know a lot about my foster dad's company. What the heck? Why do I have to do all that? The reason for me being their foster child is because I helped my foster dad's business, and will someday be the one to take over their company. And that's going to be happening in the next 2 years, so I have to be ready. What? What does this even mean? If you can't do that, then stop trying to be their next child, okay? Also, in the next few days, I'll be asking for a settlement from you. A settlement? Why? Do you really think you could get away with stealing someone's husband and there'd be no consequences for it? Unlike all those times in the past, you're an adult now, and the only thing that can save you now is money, not your parents. So don't go trying to find a way out of this one, because you won't escape me. But you're asking for money from your own sister! Well, that's still up for debate, actually. Whether you really are my little sister anymore or just some stranger to me. But either way, I'm getting a settlement. You're kidding me! In my case, I had my husband stolen from me, so I have the right to take you to court and make you pay for the damages caused. So make sure you pay every penny I ask for, and then get out of my life. But this shouldn't be happening!
Hey, Heidi! You're asking me for over $60,000? Why do I have to pay you that much? You should only be able to ask me for a smaller amount based on me cheating on you, right? I already have to deal with paying for that failed wedding and the wedding ring, but now I'm being asked to pay $60,000?
Well, when it comes to that wedding you have to pay for, you used both our money to start paying for it, right?
Wait, what?
And as for some of the money that I had in my private savings account, you used it as well on that wedding. I don't know how you figured out my PIN for that account, but you took my money without asking.
So, you want me to give that back to you, huh?
Well, when you add in that money you took from me in our shared account, the settlement comes out to $60,000.
But I don't have that kind of money right now.
Do you not realize that you stole money from me to use on a wedding with my little sister while we've still been married? If you thought that was okay, then I find it okay to make you go into debt to pay me back. And you have no right complaining to me now, right?
But this... For some reason, I haven't been able to get any response from Joy about this, and now I'm on my own, facing $60,000. Wait, what the hell is going on here? Why did I have to end up dealing with all this by myself? What did I even do that was bad enough to deserve all this?
Maybe go back and look at what you were explaining to me a little while back about what you did and my sister did. Anyway, I'm going to have my lawyer be the one to deal with you now. So take the number that's on that business card I left for you and talk with my lawyer if you have anything else to say.
And you're just gonna leave me now?
You already know the answer to that question, Keith. Now, goodbye forever.
Wait a second, Heidi. Having to get divorced from you in this manner? I don't have anywhere to go if you leave me like this. Heidi!
To start, let's talk about my sister, Joy. She had tried to get her parents to pay off the settlement I had asked for from her, but not even they had the money to pay for what I was asking. Just a little while back, the business they had ended up going bankrupt, and they had to sell their house in order to pay the bank, and have since then been without proper jobs. So with whatever money they all did have, they used to pay me, and then all had to move away into a small and worn-down apartment together. Joyce still hasn't paid everything off that I've asked for yet, but I'll make sure that she pays me little by little until she'd met the amount I've asked for. And now, here's what happened with my ex-husband. He had touched money that was not his in the first place, and even then, after using said money, he didn't have anything left to pay me that $60,000 I asked for. He ended up having to borrow money to pay the money I was asking for off, and then after that was left with no place to go. He began stalking Joy in hopes of getting money from her, and also handed in marriage paperwork to the city office without her approval. But what happens next with those two now that they might get married will have to be saved for another day, when there's more time to talk.